an attack on Shinde, accusing Shinde of betraying the Marathi people, saying that if Shinde hadn't betrayed the Shiv Sena, BJP would have never gotten the mayor's position. As far as the asli and the nakli Shiv Sena jibe that continues on part of the Shiv Sena UBT faction, and this is Sanjay Raut of the UBT faction who seems to be making this allegation, saying कि अगर एकनाथ शिंदे शिवसेना का जयचिन्ह नहीं बनते तो मुंबई में बीजेपी का मेयर कभी नहीं बनता. मराठी जनता शिंदे का जयचिन्ह के तौर पे याद रखेगी. So in a way citing the betrayal on part of Eknath Shinde, and that seems to be exactly when it comes to before the Maharashtra elections had taken place as far as the split now is concerned, because after 2017 the BMC elections are now taking place, and for the first time BJP has now emerged as a single largest party. Let's get you another breaking development what we are getting to know, because the BJP too seems to have countered Sanjay Raut's remark, calling Raut as a mix of Narad Muri and Mantra, accusing Raut of instigation and manipulation. So here mythology in a way seems to be cited, as far as history there in a way is now being put across further as individuals to describe the actions of the current netas coming in from both camps of the Shiv Sena. So here is the BJP there, Dr. Nishikant Dubey, replying and responding to Sanjay Raut of the UPD faction of the Shiv Sena, saying कि नारद मुरी तथा मंत्रा का मिला जुला रूप है Sanjay Raut. So in a way villainizing when it comes to the role that has been played by Sanjay Raut and his faction of the UPD Shiv Sena. As far as the asli and the nakli Shiv Sena fight that continues, but the UPD faction seems to have now dealt with a blow there, especially when it comes to their alliance with the MNS, and this unusual alliance led to unprecedented results that we are looking at, which did not go in their favor. Let's connect with Nilesh on this. Nilesh, political discourse there, of course, amplifying when it comes to yesterday's results. It has been unprecedented, and of course, when it comes to the jhatka that is now coming in the way for the UBT faction of the Shiv Sena.
Well, Amita, good morning to you. It is something that was long expected. Since 2019, the political dimension has been constantly changing, and it has been only unpredictable. During, or we can say pre-election, there were various rhetorics and slogans which were raised, and now post-election, it all continues with the new introduction of characters, which is being initiated by Mr. Raut. Now, however, it is also a big question that post every election, the opposition leaders are constantly trying to hit out at the government, raising doubts over EVM and other stuff, but very few of these leadership are introspecting themselves. Now, Raut happens to be calling Eknath Shinde as Jaichand. However, the primary question remains that what ultimately led to Eknath Shinde becoming the Jaichand. Now, Eknath Shinde time and again has said that it was no leadership into the Shiv Sena, which was the then undivided Shiv Sena led by UBT or Uddhav Thackeray, and which is why ultimately the Karyakartas, the party workers, were demotivated, and which is why they decided to split up due to the corruption charges that the Shiv Sena was facing, and ultimately bringing a bad name to the late Balasaheb Thackeray as well. So that became the primary reason. However, since then, Raut and Uddhav Thackeray has been constantly calling Eknath Shinde and other leaders who left along with him.
As far as the alliance is now concerned, they also had an alliance with the Congress party. However, they decided that they will not be fighting the elections of the BMC together because they wanted to go with a certain ideology forward. Now it seems that it doesn't work on the ground. It hasn't resonated with the people there on the ground. And now we are looking at political blame game that seems to have ensued post the results of the BMC elections. Please to stay on with us, Nilesh, because